We lost our son Gabriel in 2022 here at Parkview Regional. Having gone through this once before, it just kind of seemed like this isn't real, this isn't happening. We thought everything was fine. I had a lot of ultrasounds. I'm high risk, so we had just seen him 2 weeks before. He was fine, and then all of a sudden, he has no heartbeat. We just weren't really prepared for a loss. We will say hands down Parkview is amazing at this, especially going through it a second time. The amount of empathy that everyone gives is outstanding. A volunteer with the Kindred Hearts told us that a scan was something that we could have done for a memento to keep.
So the idea for the Forever in Your Heart program came about probably 4.5 years ago when I was figuring out some innovative outside-of-the-box ways to apply 3D printing within the health system. And my sister-in-law, Jaylyn, is a postpartum nurse here at Parkview, and she was a part of the bereavement committee and at some point had mentioned to me the keepsakes and memory making that is done over there. And so when I came across an article where a 3D print was done from a 3D ultrasound, I had the idea, hey, maybe we can utilize 3D printing for some of our bereavement keepsakes at the Family Birthing Center.
Over the years, we've done a lot of things with clay impressions, footprints, a lock of hair, and those are all really, I think, still an important part of the memory-making process. But being able to introduce this, it's really neat. We've even been able to create some keepsakes for folks that had losses before by scanning those keepsakes that they have, like the clay impressions or the existing castings.
So the process to create these keepsakes starts when we get the unfortunate notification, typically from Corey McKenzie, our bereavement coordinator, that there has been a loss.
We usually talk to the family and introduce the idea of the 3D printed keepsakes. We can show some examples of what we can create for them and then get permission to complete the scan.
It's a pretty non-invasive process. We just have to be able to see the hand or the foot that we're going to be scanning and creating the keepsake of. After the scan is complete, we'll have the file stored until we receive the request that the family will provide that has all the specifics about which keepsake they would like.
For us, it was really easy. We chose to let them do it after we'd left the hospital so that it wasn't something we had to see, but it also gave us the freedom to leave the hospital when we were ready and not have to wait around.
We have 3 options currently, with plans to expand. The 3 that we currently offer are our Forever Heart, which are clear and have a custom color put inside of it. We have our Forever Replicas, which is a white 3D print of the hand or the foot itself. And then we have the Forever Impression, which is where we will take either a handprint or a footprint and inverse that so it's coming out of the model. Through the foundation funding, we're able to offer 2 of these keepsakes free of charge to each family. Everybody that experiences a loss within our women's and children's hospitals can benefit from this unique, one-of-a-kind program.
I've heard families, keep them on a shelf in the living room or in a display case with other things that they've gotten from the hospital, or they use it as a nightlight in a child's room, and that just feels so meaningful to know that we get to help keep that legacy alive.
I was worried at first that they were going to be fragile. They're virtually indestructible. Your kids can play with them. He also calmed my fears a little when he said, we have the scans. If something were to happen, we can recreate it. We didn't have my kids come in and see him, so they hold his hand or they hold his feet and they can feel the grooves and everything. To me, it's just my way of keeping him with us. It was a very easy yes for us to say. We definitely wanted that memento. So we're just very grateful that somebody had this idea and that they followed it through and that they brought it to Parkview.